good evening. Happy Sunday. It is time for What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms. And we are excited to be cooking with you again tonight and hanging out with you. We just enjoy doing it on a Sunday night. And I don't know about you guys, but we have been enjoying this beautiful weather that we've been having this whole week, really. It's been amazing. You know, there's not a lot that we do during the winter time at the farm. I mean, there are some things, but not nearly as much as goes on in the spring. So, you know, the first couple of weeks, or I guess the end of February, was so rainy and so wet that it was almost, you know, it was a challenge to really get much done around the farm. So we have so enjoyed all of the sunshine, and we've been able to get a lot of things done, and it's been a very productive time. So we are loving this sunshine, and we hope that you are too. And if you live in East Tennessee, I hope you have taken some time to get outside and just enjoy, because it is absolutely beautiful. So tonight we are going to be making pork bucatini. I'm probably saying that word wrong. It's either Buccatini or Buccatini. I tried to look up the pronunciation and I'm still not quite certain. But Buccatini is a type of pasta, and we are going to make this dish tonight, and it is super, super easy. So why don't we go ahead and get started, and then we can chat a little bit and see who is with us from that point on. So let me take you over and show you what Brian is working on. Hey, Brian.
Hello.
Tell us what we got going on.
So we got a hot pan and some olive oil.
Hot pan and olive oil.
And this is some pork belly that's been diced or sliced. And so it's about a half a pound of that and about a half a pound of our pork stir fry.
Yeah.
So I just kind of looked in the freezer to see what we had and said, well, this will work well.
Yeah.
So
And the cool thing about the pork, so yeah, we're using the pork stir fry, and we'd actually made our dish, the red curry pork stir fry was with our pork strips. But we've also, like Brian said, we've added some of our sliced pork belly. And for those of you who may not be aware, pork belly is basically the uncured bacon. So that's the meat, the cut that we would use for bacon. And Brian and I both believe that it is the most tender cut of the pork. Don't you say, Brian?
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
And really, we trimmed off a few of the bigger pieces of fat, but you know, the fat that's in between the layers of meat, we left it in there. So.
Yeah, it'll give it some great flavor.
Yep, and other than that, we just added some salt and pepper and garlic powder.
Yeah. So I'm going to say that I wasn't planning on talking about this, but this brand of olive oil. So Brian and I went on a cruise to the eastern and western through the Mediterranean, and we actually had the opportunity during those things to take these little cooking classes, and they talked a lot about Mediterranean style food, and of course they cook with a lot of olive oil. And we went to, where was it, Corfu, where Crete. We went? Crete,
island of Crete.
So the island of Crete, we went to this beautiful botanical garden where they were, you know, they grew all types of vegetables and fruits. And so anyway, while we were there, I asked the question, what for us in the United States, what is the best brand of olive oil for us to use? And I was shocked for them to say to me, you really don't want to get all of these Italian olive oils that are shipped because they lose their, what was it, Brian, exactly? I mean, it's basically they're by the time we get them, they're not as good as they could have been. So the recommendation from one of the chefs on board our cruise ship was, in the United States, that this is really one of the best bets. So that's just a little extra information there. So Brian is adding our Buccatini pasta. And so for those of you who may not be aware of what is the difference between Bucatini and other pastas, there's a little hole that runs through. You're not going to be able to see that, but there's a little hole that runs through the middle. Yeah, it's like a tube. So I could actually, spit wads at Brian while he's cooking. But there's a little, he looked at me like I had a horn growing out of my nose. So anyway, you can really use any type of pasta that you like.
We just like saying it.
We just like saying it. So that's why we're using it.
For the first time ever last week. Right?
That's right. And we actually love this. So, y'all, this dish is awesome because it only has, it may sound sophisticated, but there are 4 ingredients to this dish. And what Brian is doing now, if you're just joining us, he is browning our pork stir fry and pork belly. And he has put in with that salt, pepper, and, you know, we talk about this just about every week. We love garlic at Dudash Farms, so we've got lots of garlic in there. And he has put the bucatini pasta on, and we are cooking that. So that's where we are so far. So, like I was saying, there are 4 ingredients to this dish. It's basically the pork, it is the pasta, and then egg and Parmesan cheese. And that's basically all that is in this thing. So let's see who's watching. We've got several people. Johnny Vidito's watching, Debbie Williamson. Hey, Angie. Angie Vidito's watching. Let's see. Mary Fulton is watching. Hey, Pam Thompson. How are you? Pam's watching. And some of them are not showing up, but so if you're there, I'd just like to say hello and welcome, and just say hi. Drop a hi in the comments. Let us know that you're watching. We'd love to hear from you. Curtis Hilbin said, "Yum, I'm hungry." So Curtis, you just need to, you know, come on up sometime and have dinner with us on one of these What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms. We would absolutely love that. So I was telling you when we first started that there's really not so much to do on the farm during the winter as you may think, but it really starts to pick up in the spring. So we've been doing lots of stuff. This is the time of year when we have new calves being born, we have new piglets, we vaccinate, and we start to vaccinate, castrate, put fly tags in the cows and calves' ears, and number tags and that kind of thing. Also, this is the time when we start to fertilize the hay fields and the pasture fields, and so there's a lot going on. And we've been, Brian and I've been cutting down some trees and cutting up some wood, getting ready for fall. So, you know, you got to do that in the spring so that you're ready, because I really love the fireplace and love to use that. And also, we've been plowing the garden. Today we planted some onions and potatoes, so getting all of that ready. So this is a fun time to be on the farm. So tonight, pork bucatini is what we're making. Basically 4 ingredients. We've got our bucatini pasta, and really you could use any type of pasta for this. Spaghetti is great. We're using the pork stir fry strips, and we're using some pork belly. We've mixed those together, just the sliced pork belly, and then mozzarella cheese, Parmesan cheese, and eggs. So we'll show you how that goes. Sharon Manning says, "Can't wait to try this." Y'all, it is so super easy and it is delicious. And I've made a salad. I'll show you what that looks like to go along with it, just to make sure we get our good fresh vegetables. Angie says that Pete planted onions yesterday. So yeah, we were going to plant them yesterday and they got away. So we did that this afternoon, and it was, I don't know, it's just fun. So what do we got going on now, Brian? Just kind of hanging out, letting the pasta...
Yep, need about 3.5 minutes.
Okay, so about 3.5 minutes. Let me ask you, if you're watching, if you watched last week, last week we made our beef and barley soup. I wanted to see what you guys, if anybody tried it and what you thought about it. We at the time when we were making it, we didn't have time to really show you the final product, because remember, it had to simmer for over an hour, and I'm not going to keep you on Facebook Live for over an hour. That would be like, I'm sure you would be bored to tears with me. But you guys, it was really, really delicious. and we had some leftovers, and I think it was even better the following day. You know, it seems like there are certain dishes that really taste better after they've had time to I don't know, after they've had time to sit in the juices and all. So it was really, really good. Let's see, I got myself some notes because I can't remember anything. So yeah, this week was a fantastic week for us in terms of sales. We met a lot of new customers this week. So thank you guys for getting the word out about Dudash Farms product. We've met so many nice people this week. We will now be going to the butcher every other week between now and November. So we got lots of trips planned, and we wanted to point out that if there is a special cut that you would like to order, just let us know, because we're in that time when we can do that. And I'll give you some examples. So occasionally we will have someone ask for a full or a standing rib roast, or maybe a full fillet. Let us know if you're interested in something like that, because now's the time to let us know so we can take care of that. But we can do that for you. Let's see. What else? Oh, our newsletter went out this week. So our March newsletter, and of course that includes all of the recipes of the dishes that we did in February, including the collagen beef broth that I told you guys about. So if you haven't subscribed to our newsletter and you would like to receive that, it's only going to go out once a month. Just gives you a little bit of information about what's going on at the farm and includes all of those recipes. So if you want, go to our website. It's dudashfarms.com. Go to the contact page. Just click on the little tab at the top and it'll take you to the contact page, and you can see there about midway down on the page where you can put your email in, and we will send that to you. And if you do that, I'll go ahead and send you the newsletter this week, and you'll have last month's recipes, and we will have you on that list to receive it from here on out. So Angie says, can you send me the newsletter? Yes, Angie, you need to go and subscribe on the page, on the website, the contact page, and I'd be happy to, because the recipes are great. So yeah, let me see if there's is there any other questions you guys have about anything that we have done or that we're doing right now. And I have a very special I don't know if she's watching tonight, but Letha Merritt, if you're watching, Brian and I want to say happy birthday, Aunt Letha. So, Brian, you want to stick your head around the corner, and so happy birthday, Letha. We love you very much, and we hope you're having a great birthday. Next week, gang, is Time Change Weekend. And we are so glad that we will be having, how many of you out there are just like super happy that we're actually going to have some daylight in the evening? Me. So when we do our What's for Dinner at Dudash Farms next Sunday, we will have daylight. So we'll take you outside, show you around the farm a little bit as we're doing dinner. We haven't made our decision exactly on what we're going to do. But we may possibly do something that we can grill, so we can hang out with you guys outside if the weather is nice. Hopefully it will be. So I think Brian is at the point now where the spaghetti, or the Buccatini, however you want to pronounce it, is done. It only takes about, what, 7 minutes, Brian? Yeah, it takes about 7 minutes to cook. So it's really just like you were making spaghetti. And as a matter of fact, you can use spaghetti if you prefer to use that. So let's go over and let's see what else he's into now that we've got that far. Angie says, I need more sleep. What's going on with you, Angie? Why you need more sleep? So here's what Brian's doing. The pasta is done, and he's adding some of that shaved Parmesan cheese that I absolutely love. So he's letting that melt in the pasta.
And this is just 3 scrambled eggs. So this is kind of like carbonara, but that recipe uses bacon. That's where the idea came from.
Yeah. So here we go. So with that said, you all, you could do this very same dish, and instead of using the stir fry pork strips, you could use bacon, right? All right. So while he's mixing, so what you can see, I mean, it's sort of like pork fried rice in a way, right? Except we've got pasta in there, and he's adding some more Parmesan to taste, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah, we don't like to measure.
Yeah. I will put measurements on the recipes for you, but you know, it's basically to taste because everybody's tastes are a little bit different. So let me get a plate, Brian. I didn't even grab one of those. And we will put it on a plate. And like I said, we're actually having this with a really nice salad. So I'm going to let him plate that up. And so, yeah, we've made a couple of salads here. So we can have some very good fresh vegetables. And he's plating this up, so let's see what this looks like. Looking yummy. Looks good, Mr. Dudash.
Thank you. So last time we made it, we actually used egg whites instead of whole eggs, and I think presentation-wise, it looks better.
With the egg whites?
Yeah.
Actually, I think this looks delicious. Big old cheesy string there between the plates. All right, so there we go. And so that's how we will serve it this evening. And that's it. And guys, like we said, it's basically 4 ingredients. And Brian says he doesn't think it looks great on the plate, but let me tell you, it is absolutely delicious and it's easy. So if you're looking for something different and easy, this is going to be a good option. So, all right. Let's see. Was there anything that I may have forgotten to talk about, Brian? Let's look. Let's see what we got here. Let's see. Like I said, I have to have little notes. I think that's it.
You're at the end of the page.
Yeah, I'm at the end of the page. So, yeah, that was basically it, y'all. And again, if you're wanting our recipes, make sure you go and subscribe for our newsletter. And we will try to do something outside next week so that we can get out and enjoy the weather. So, we're going to go eat dinner. So, we're going to say goodbye. Say bye, Brian.
Bye. Let's eat.
Bye. Let's eat.